Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. Apologise, this review is super late. I have actually recently bought a house and I've been moving in, so yeah, it's been a bit of a, what's the word, pain in my ass, I suppose. So yeah, today we're going to be looking at the Splash and Burn update. I'm going to be doing my review for this update. We're going to be talking about it, is it good or bad, talking about all the various new items that are added, as well as just talking about the structure in general. Just to kind of, I guess, knock it out the park with this review, or just quickly, I think this update is meh. I do think it is a bit meh. I don't think it's terrible, but there's definitely some cool stuff in there. I do like the theme. I think the theme is pretty strong. I just think character / costume wise, it's a bit of a letdown in my opinion. But anyway, let's get into it and talk about all the various things. Starting off, we'll talk about the structure and the theme. So the theme of this one is your standard, mini update really. Nothing too unique with the structure or anything at all with this one. Standard, bog standard, mini update. Now, there's some cool stuff in there for sure in terms of the structure. We'll talk about the theme in a second. For example, although the structure does start with your costume and then, there isn't a character or costume as the final prize, like I said before, I was starting to get over that. The second part of the prize track obviously has the Quiet Rivers bundle, and you just get you get 3 decorations in one go. And I think this is like really awesome when they do this. It's such a cool thing because I've said it before, I don't want like a crappy decoration in the prize track, I don't want something that should just be chucked in the store for a bit of cash. I want them to, add cool things to the prize track, like cool decorations, cool buildings, or just buildings in general. Any building's fine, any character's fine, any costume's fine, any NPC's fine. But when it comes to decorations, they better be damn good. And to be honest, I think all 3 of these decorations are like really awesome, and I'll talk about them in a minute in a bit more depth and talking about them individually. But yeah, I think this is actually a really good part of the prize track part 2. The final prize I think is very disappointing. I think it could have been really cool, but it turned out to be very disappointing. Again, I'll talk about that when we get into the buildings. But yeah, in terms of structure, I think everything was fine. Nothing amazing, nothing groundbreaking. It's just fine structure wise really, but I do like that combo. I think that is definitely a highlight for this update. Yeah, so questline wise, obviously I think it was decent enough. I like the inclusion of the whole devil thing. I think that was pretty awesome. Paul Flart, of course, is kind of the standout for this update. He kind of almost leads the update in a lot of ways, and I think he's a bit of a weak character to lead the event. I didn't really find much personality in the way he was written, so wasn't too keen on that. And then in terms of your theme, obviously the theme is, water parks, summer, Mount Splashmore, take your pick. I mean, all of that really. And I think it works. I think it's great for a summer event. I think there's definitely plenty of content that they could add. I just think execution-wise, it hasn't been the greatest. So let's talk about all of that. Starting with the characters next. So, I say characters. We'll do characters and costumes. So just to start off, we'll look at Paul Flart. I think Paul Flart, like I said, I think he's a pretty meh character. I don't mind his animation where he looks for clues. I think that one's kind of cool. His questline wasn't anything amazing. I think his inclusion in the main questline was, like I said, lacking a lot of personality. It does kind of feel like they are trying their best to do like a non-copyright Paul Blart, I know that's what he is. He's meant to be a parody of Paul Blart Mall Cop, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just really didn't like it. It just wasn't that great. And then, honestly, these other animations, like I said, one cool animation. The other one I'm not too fussed on. I think he's mediocre, to be honest. He's not bad, but he's not good for sure. And then let's talk about the character skins. So to start off, we've got Swimsuit Homer. I don't mind his animation, his second animation, the one where he is like slipping and stuff, and then it's like a seagull flies in his face. That one's okay. The first animation with the raccoons, I could have done without the raccoons, okay? Why? What is the obsession with raccoons recently? It's raccoon non-stop. There's just so many raccoons, and I'm done with raccoons. I want raccoons to be extinct in the game, please. And I feel like this is like, maybe I'm like reaching here, but I think there's like a reason, you know. I'm feeling there's like some dark fan theory, okay, that we can come up with that explains the recent raccoon fiasco. Maybe Springfield is going to be destroyed once again, but this time by raccoons. And then questline wise for Swimsuit Homer, it was nah, it was nothing memorable. I don't even remember it now. I can't tell you anything about it. I don't remember a thing about it. And then moving on, Swimsuit Brockman, same thing. I don't remember a thing of the questline. You can go watch the premium gameplay. I did record my voice in that, but it didn't go through. But honestly, don't remember a thing of the Swimsuit Brockman one. I only did that a couple of days ago. Still don't remember anything from that questline, so can't say it was very memorable. In terms of his animations, I didn't mind the Swimsuit Brockman animations. Well, actually, no, I didn't like the one where he's interviewing people. It's just kind of boring. You know, he's just interviewing people, like a random NPC walks up to him. It's just such a boring animation. The second one was okay, though. Yeah. But, of course, he is super premium, so you got to take that into account. And I think that is definitely a thing against him. I don't think this costume deserved to be super premium. Even with the combo with the Void, I don't think it was worth it. So, yeah, wasn't a big fan of Swimsuit Brockman. Wasn't a big fan of Swimsuit Homer. And definitely wasn't a big fan of Paul Blart. So, not getting on to a good start, are you, update? Then, moving on, let's look at the building and decoration showcase. So, let's have a look at this image. So all the buildings here, all the decorations, including the super premium one, you can all see. Obviously, I've done the H2 WoW is separate because I kind of want to go on a mini rant about that in a minute. But all the buildings, and apart from H2 WoW, all the buildings and decorations are in this image. So starting from the left, there is the Void, which is what Kent Brockman should come with. One thing I have to say about it, should be a building. Why is it not a building? If you're going to do a super premium combo, why not make it a building? And this, for sure, definitely could have been a building. I do think it's a little small, but it's okay overall. I'm fine with it. Like I said, just needs to be, in terms of the look, I just think it could have been a bit bigger. And like I said, really, really, really should be a building. Now, moving on, Mount Splashmore slide, you can just see up the top there. I think this is by far the best I think this is the best thing in the game, full stop. The best thing in the update, full stop. Really, really cool slide. Looks are awesome. I think I said it was a bit small, but honestly, I think it's scaled correctly. Yeah, it's a really, really cool building. Really, really love it. It's a shame it's premium, but it is pretty damn awesome. Then we got the Devil's thingy-majingy. This one's fine. I like this one. Again, though, should be a building, because if you're going to make the Mount Splashball slide a building, if you're going to make H2 WoW a building, why not make this a building? It's a ride after all. Then to the left you got the Wave Walker. You know, you're gonna be surprised at this criticism. Why isn't it a building? Again, it's a ride, just like the slide. And then we've got the Water Toads there. These are from the combo, of course. The Water Toads, I like. I think this one, there's a bit more of an argument for it being a decoration instead of a building. But even this one, I think, probably could be a building. The Ankle Soaker, I think that one is fair as a decoration. I think that one, for sure, I'll take that as a decoration. And then the last one, what's that one called again? Let me just quickly have a scoot. That is called the SPF 60 Adventure. That one makes sense, like I said, as a decoration. The Water Toads, like I said, I think I could take it or leave it as either, really. I think I'm not too fussed on that being a building or a decoration. But as for like the actual big rides, to me they should just be buildings. It makes no sense. It feels like they're trying to like skim us out of buildings when you could just make the update so much better and make these buildings. And then let's talk about the final building in the prize track. Of course, this is H2 WoW. And whoa, is it bad? Now, you might be saying, what do you mean? Why is it bad? I'm going to show you a screenshot from the episode. Look at that. Does that look like it is scaled right at all? Absolutely not. I think this building has been grossly underscaled, for sure. Now, look at the tooth chipper in the game, okay? Just, if you've got the tooth chipper, go into your town and look at it. Because, oh boy, is that a big-ass ride. Now, I kind of feel like H2O probably shouldn't be as big as that, but it certainly should be close to it, because from like the look of it, it's huge in the episode. It looks massive. It's got this big ass line that you know the Simpsons cut through. Yeah, to me, I just don't think it's scaled right whatsoever. I think it really should be much bigger, and especially as the final prize. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, that makes sense. Looks like could be a really cool ride to get, you know, similar to the Tooth Chipper. And then when I finally unlocked it, I thought, what the hell is this? This is tiny. This is minuscule. Yeah, so I was really not happy with the H2O. I think it's way too small and really a crappy prize. And in my opinion, I think it's a real travesty. It's translation to the game. I just think it's really crap. So yeah, not a big fan of that one, if you couldn't guess. Now, let's kind of wrap up our thoughts and talk about the update as a whole. So to conclude, honestly, if I had to say was this update good or bad, I would probably have to go with the bad, just because I think characters and costumes are just below standard for me, just below. Building wise, I really love the slide, but H2O I just think it's a massive disappointment. And decorations, all the decorations, they look amazing, but half of them really should be buildings, and that's just, to me, that is a flaw, because, yeah, I don't see why it should be. If it's not it's the wrong classification. You know, we always get annoyed when there's buildings that really should be decorations, like when we get like interiors and stuff, and we get annoyed because we're like, why is this a building? It should be a decoration. So we should get annoyed in the reverse. Why? How? In what world does it make sense to make like the Tooth Chipper and the H2O and the Mount Splashmore slide a building, and not make the Wave Walker a building? So yeah, I think this although the decorations are cool, they really should be buildings, and I think that is a negative thing for the update. In terms of just a few positives, I think some of the returning items to this update have been pretty cool. The airport coming back and with all the tracks and stuff is really awesome, so it's great to finally get them all back in the game, because they haven't not been in the game since I think they released, or at least the airport. Yeah, I think the airport did come back recently, but the tracks haven't been in the game since like it released, so that's a big plus. The log ride and stuff, but a lot of the itchy and scratchy stuff came back, which again is a massive plus to this update. So yeah, returning items, like I said, have just been pretty damn good, so I'll give it that. But in terms of the new content and just the general sort of structure and all that of the update, I just think it is a bit bad. I don't think it's terrible, but I certainly think this is one of the weaker updates of the year. I don't know though, because all the mini updates have been pretty, apart from When the Bow Breaks, that was pretty good. The rest of them have not been great. Let's have a look. Yeah, When the Bow Breaks I think is much better than this update. And then you of course had, what was the one after that? Hot Diggity Dough. That one was okay. I think character-wise and stuff, that was okay. And then the one before that, what was the one before that? Red Alert. That was kind of crappy though. Ooh, is this worse than Red Alert? I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Is this update worse than Red Alert? Tell me your thoughts. No, this update's better than Red Alert for sure. It's definitely better than Red Alert, but it's still pretty crappy. I wouldn't say it's as good as When the Bow Breaks, at least. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Tell me your thoughts. Goodbye.